Everyone, concepts in Kabbalah. Hope you are doing good. You're feeling okay. Today we're going to talk about a prayer, which is an important concept in Kabbalah, just like all the other concepts. We try to mainly touch important concepts, and still this is an important one. Okay, sometimes I get blurry in this camera. I don't know why. Maybe I should move less, you see? It gets out of focus for some reason. Anyway, let's talk about a prayer. So, a prayer in its basic form is a desire, because if we talk in Kabbalah about the two basic forces in nature, so we usually talk about the creature and the creator. The creator is the force, the field, the fulfillment, the pleasure, the information, the light. It doesn't matter how you want to call it, but it's like the abundance. And the creature is the deficiency, it's the lack, it's the vessel that limits the abundance. So the essence of the creature, by definition, is a desire. It's like a deficiency, and this is what a prayer is actually. So a prayer is like the most internal action that the creature can take. It's like the essence of the creature. The prayer, because the prayer is not just a desire, it's a desire which is already clothed or has the correct shape to receive an answer from the Creator. Okay, so we can say that a prayer is a desire, a lack, which the creature worked on, or let's say, like in a more simple way, that a person worked on and shaped it and designed it and molded it into the right pattern, which according to it, it will receive an answer from the Creator. And what is an answer from the Creator? So today I won't draw, because I rather talk in a more internal way, but every step in the ladder is actually a step in similarity of form, meaning a higher degree is something which is closer or more similar to the form of the Creator. So you can say that a desire for the next degree, meaning if I'm in X and I desire the state of X plus 1, it means that I have the right prayer. And so nature or the Creator allows me to be in X plus 1 because I've made it, or I've created, or I've molded or designed, or I don't know which word to use, the right prayer. Okay, and so naturally I get the fulfillment, which is being in that state, what we say, attaining that state. Okay, now it sounds maybe a bit simple. It sounds maybe simple, but it's not so simple, because we always start from a corrupted desire. We always start from a desire which is egoistic. It's like a raw material, like a unfinished diamond, and we need to work on it in order to come from the most opposite point of us towards the Creator, to becoming like the Creator. Okay, so we start from a state in which we are completely egoist, that we are in complete darkness, that we are completely opposite from the Creator. This is actually what nature reveals in us as we move forward. More of the darkness, more of this raw material, of this like unpolished diamond. And we need to work on that, work on ourselves, work on our desire, and come to a state in which we desire or want to be like the Creator, to be in similarity of form towards the Creator, okay? Okay, so that's basically prayer, like in general. Now, let's see if we have questions. We don't have questions. Good. So, let's see, maybe read something. Okay, so maybe we'll start from the third link. So this is a link to the book, The Complete Idiot's Guide to Kabbalah. It's chapter 14, Praying with Results, okay? So, and it goes like this. Don't take this personally, but your soul is incomplete, meaning your spiritual sense, your spiritual desire is still not completed, it's not polished, it's not ready for an answer from the Creator. However, it does not have to stay that way. You can seek assistance from something already complete. The Creator is complete, and He can also complete you. Actually, according to Kabbalists, there is nothing He would like more than for you to be whole. All you need to do is connect with the Creator. Okay, so we also have in Kabbalah actions or practices that brings us to a prayer before prayer, meaning a prayer to receive the right prayer. Meaning to receive the right desire. You do this through a prayer. When you pray, you ask the Creator to fill you. This may sound easy, but prayer is also considered work. This work sets Kabbalah prayer apart from other types of prayer, as you will see. Prayer in Kabbalah further differs from prayer in other practices because it does more than affect the individual. Prayer has the potential to touch humankind as a whole. Because each soul is connected to all other souls, and praying for the group or for the society can have proven positive effects. Kabbalah prayer has no specific guidelines of when or where to pray, or of what to wear or rituals to perform as you do so. It depends only on the desire in your heart, okay? So, again, you need to come from an egoistic desire into something more complete, more similar to the Creator, or what we'll later refer to as prayer of many, or a complete soul. So know what you want. So in Kabbalah, you pray to fill a void or an absence of something. A lack can mean anything, a lack of money, of love, or of health. But when Kabbalists write about prayer, they are referring to a specific absence, the absence of the quality of bestowal, the nature of the giver, the Creator. You cannot just ask for completeness in general. That would be like going to a restaurant and ordering a drink without specifying water, juice, soda, or tea. You must order the right spiritual drink to quench your spiritual thirst. The waiter is like the Creator. You must say exactly what you want, okay? So we need to come to a state, because all of the spiritual journey is very conscious, meaning it's all being done consciously, meaning that the person needs to choose or actually prefer or justify each and every action in that journey, otherwise it won't be his or hers. Then you need to come to the exact prayer, meaning you need to come to the right prayer, and you need to want it, okay? Not only theoretically understand what is required of you, but also to really truly desire that above your egoistic prayers. To do this, your prayer must be very clear. You must know precisely what it is you want when you request something. Consider that you are speaking before the Creator. The Creator has the potential to make you the happiest person in the world. The Creator provides you with wholeness because the Creator is whole. Nothing is lacking or deficient in the Creator. When asking for fulfillment, carefully consider what is truly unfulfilled in you well before your prayer. This is thoughtful preparation. If the Creator fulfills exactly what you are missing, as He has the potential to, you will be the most perfect and complete person possible. You will not lack anything. Determining what you need beforehand is a crucial part of the praying process. Okay, you have here a box on track. It may seem strange that all you have to do is pray to get what you want, but not if you remember that there is none else beside Him. Kabbalists say that to get a full shekel coin, you have to give half, and the Creator gives the other half. Your half is the prayer, and His half is granting you your wish. Okay, so this is a bit more tricky than what it says, because again, the default state is that we are in a reality of which is complete. So we exist in completeness, in wholeness, and then it's a question: what is our action? What is needed of us? What kind of deficiency do we need to bring? And the deficiency that Kabbalah say that we need to bring is the deficiency to become like the Creator. But in order to do that, you need to scrutinize, you need to understand what is that spiritual drink, meaning you need to investigate the Creator and to understand according to your degree what is the next step, what is the Creator for you at the moment, and then you can ask for that. And if you truly do that, then you move to the next degree. And when you move to the next degree, you reveal that what you imagined wasn't so correct, and that the prayer that you thought that it's completely above your ego is actually egoistic. But that is very natural, because it's very similar to what happens in our world when we grow and then we look back and we see that, we weren't exactly there, but somehow we move forward, and it's exactly how children grow, okay? So you shouldn't be too intimidated from the fact that you don't know exactly what you need to pray for, or that you move in the darkness, because you will always move in the darkness. So you need to understand where do you acquire security, or security is the right word, or confidence from. And that is usually from the group of people that walk that path with you. Philippa is asking, what is the point of connection to become independent? Is this not a contradiction in itself? That's a nice question, because what Philippa is actually saying is, Kabbalah is always talking about connecting to others and being part of a whole, and that everything is attained through connection. And at the same time, it talks about the fact that in that process, everybody is becoming independent, and everyone realizes himself or herself in the optimal way. So how can it be? Isn't there a contradiction there? Well, there is a contradiction as long as you identify yourself with an egoistic self that usually realizes himself on the account of others, and in some kind of competition with others. And in Kabbalah, it's actually completely different, because you need to realize yourself through the connection to others, okay? From your point of motherhood towards all of humanity in the end, but let's say in the beginning towards others, okay? So you build your independent and your individual self in a way of being like the Creator, meaning taking care of others. Sis is saying, when I praise Him and thank Him after prayers answered, is that a prayer too? Yes, of course, and that's why we usually start from giving thanks and seeing the Creator as great, and then we add our deficiency, and in the end we finish with seeing Him as great again. Because we are built from the will to receive, we are most of the time, naturally, we are in a deficiency, and we are complaining and lacking and angry at our state. And so in many cases, we need to artificially add that point of gratefulness or thankfulness, and in doing so, we reveal that we cannot do that from our own ego, because if all the time the Creator adds more emptiness and a greater lack, we cannot give thanks or see Him or justify Him. And this process makes us start to look on things not so egoistically and not to measure everything according to our ego. Did I receive something to fulfill my stomach or didn't? But to see it in a different way. Okay, is deep meditation regarded as a prayer? Well, this is a question. What do you refer to as meditation? So you can say that a meditation is when you focus on your breath and then you just try to find balance with the most basic animal part of you, meaning because like breathing is like the basic form of animal existence, and so that won't be really a prayer. Although you can say that everything in nature prays in its own way, because also plants and steel and animal are turning to the Creator, are like in an internal dialogue with the Creator. So you can say that by breathing you're actually becoming part of the circulation of nature. But when we talk about in Kabbalah about prayer, we talk about a much more deeper concept above breathing. It's more like a much more internal dialogue from the part of you which is not related to your animal level, to your breathing level, or to being empty of thoughts and feelings, but it's about the part of you which actually rise above your ego, rise above your oppositeness to the Creator and becoming similar to Him. Okay, I can't be here for the live, but I will be happy to watch it later. Okay, I mean repeating a portion of the Word of God in a meditative state. So again, okay, Francis, so now you're referring to a part when people actually are saying certain words. So again, this is a corporal action of talking, a corporal action of talking, which through it you want to come to a more internal connection. Well, I wouldn't put too much of an emphasis on talking, but more about the internal action. And if you need to like say a certain words for that or not, that's up to you and how you connect to that. Okay, let's see if we have more questions. Yvette is saying, hey Aaron, hello friends. Do my intentions matter when connecting with non-Kabbalists? This is hello Kevin, good morning to you too. This is a big question, Yvette, because like, what does it mean to be in intention with others? Usually in Kabbalah we refer to it is that above my default state, meaning the egoistic desires and thoughts that the Creator implanted in me. Now above that, I'm overcoming that, and I'm doing an action which will help others come closer to the Creator, okay? Above my corporal state. So this is like intention in its basic form. So if you're talking about people that you study with, or actually people that you want to talk and tell them about the Creator, that is clear, okay? So you want to help them above what you feel inside or what you go through on your individual level. But if you talk about people who don't want to come closer to the Creator, how can you actually help them in that? You cannot. And why would you need to overcome yourself? You just need to act like a normal person, meaning be okay with them and not be too egoistic or too good so they won't take advantage of you, or that you won't hurt them. And so I don't see any point of talking about intentions when you relate to people who are not on the spiritual path with you. Hello, David. Okay. No more questions here. No more questions. Okay, so let's read something. This is from Lightman's blog. What is a prayer? Question is taken from Facebook. What is a prayer? Answer. A prayer is an appeal to the upper force of nature to correct one's egoistic inclination. This is the only thing that the upper force accepts as the right request. A desire, a sense of deficiency that attracts a positive force, correcting this deficiency. Okay, so a prayer, like in a more useful, efficient, exact way, it's a prayer for correction. And what about the millennia of prayers humanity raised in the course of history? They cannot be considered prayers because only a request to correct one's egoism and to replace it with a universal love for everyone is called a prayer. If you do not ask for this, you do not appeal to anyone. The upper force responds only to this request because the property of love and bestow is all that it contains. Whoever asks this force for the property of love and bestow gets it to the extent that they have a true desire. Whoever doesn't ask doesn't receive it. You can cry as much as you want about everything else. It's a voice crying out in the desert. Okay, it means that like an egoistic desire can be answered or cannot be answered, but it really has nothing to do with the process of correction. Okay, so yes, in some cases, out of a big deficiency or a great suffering, a state changes and a person moves, or the attitude of nature towards a certain person, the conditions, the circumstances change. But that's not like a method that you can truly work with. But this has to do a lot to the general state and to the connection of that person to the whole system. But if you want to work in a more efficient way, you always need to aim towards the correction, towards the point of becoming similar to the Creator. Question. Then what is the purpose of the purposefully composed prayer books that people recite prayers from? By reading these prayers, a person raises his desire not towards correction, but toward all sorts of personal benefits, money, health, and so on. None of this works. What should I ask for in order for it to be a true prayer? You should ask only for a supra-egoistic property. Bestow and love for others. Everything else is a waste of time. Okay, so this is very straightforward answers. But there is a nice recording of the Rabash quoting from a prayer and saying, a person says that the Creator is great and he wants to be like Him, but then in his heart he's saying, but give me money, I need money. And then he's saying, I want to become like you, please help me rise from my egoistic desire. And in his heart he's saying, but I want more respect, I want people to respect me. And so he's making fun of the fact that the person says one thing and in his heart it's completely different. And to come to a true prayer in your heart is actually all the work of a person, because if he attains that correct prayer, then immediately he receives an answer. Okay, let's see if we have more questions. Not here. As we grow, we learn, gets both answered and actually understood. Why and how come we ask such a question? What does word congruity mean in Kabbalah? Congruity? I'm not sure I understood the word. Let me check on Google Translate. I don't have the clue what is the word like in Hebrew. Congruity, it's like two things which are like similar in part. That's the meaning of congruity. Google Translate doesn't help. What does congruity mean? The state or quality of being congruous, harmony, congruity of ideas. Yeah, so maybe it's like similarity of form, like partial similarity of form. Let me check. Yeah, I guess it is so. Appropriate, suitable, adequate, compatible. Yeah, so I guess I'm not sure where you took it from. Maybe if you give me the full phrase, but I would say that it refers to the fact that if you want to say that a person is partially similar to the Creator or corrected himself in a limited form, then you can say that there is a congruity. I don't know even how to pronounce it correctly in that. Okay, let's see if we have more questions. No, we don't. And we have 3 more minutes. Let's see if we can read something more. The prayer the Creator hears. A person does not automatically turn to the Creator as soon as he feels he cannot cope. He just falls into despair. He will either sleep or cry from powerlessness. Only if there are friends close by who are not in a descent and despair, like he is, then their support, together with his desperate state, will form in him a correct appeal to the Creator. This is the only way it is possible. A person alone will never turn to the Creator, neither in a good nor a bad state. He can either thank or curse the Creator, but it will not be a prayer. So this is an interesting state, because if a person already understands that, then he understands that all of his states of emptiness, darkness, like hatred towards the Creator, towards the spiritual path, are actually a presence that he can use only if he's part of a group or of a 10 or of a bigger whole. And so he can bring his emptiness and his hatred and his negativity or whatever, or cursing the Creator, and he just clings to the others. And by doing that, he actually adds his deficiency, his darkness to the general effort, and by that he can help build a general prayer that he cannot do alone. Because if he would be alone, he would just run away or fall to despair. And when a person does that, he starts to reveal that there are no dark states or depressions, or there are actually only opportunities to rise above oneself. So these are like chances to restart. Izoke, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. So we're talking about asking with complete abandon for adhesion with the Creator, wanting nothing more but to live in this state for the benefit of harmony with nature and humanity. Yes, that's correct. Something like that, yes. To rise above the... I see myself out of focus. I wonder if you do too. Something weird with the camera. But to rise above the only force that actually cuts us from the integral system, which is our own ego. So there are 2 prayers, one for the sake of the right connection for the friends, and the other for making us equal to the Creator. These are the same, but you can say, but because we become equal to the Creator through our attitude towards the friends or the others. But there are many more prayers than that. There is a prayer before a prayer, as we've talked about here. There is always an egoistic prayer we start from, and then and then a prayer for bestow already. Izog is saying congruity is a point of agreement. I understand that a person has to find that point where we rise above the ego and be congruent with the Creator. Okay, so maybe I don't know the literature meaning of this word, but from what I saw, it's to what extent does a person is similar to the Creator. But yes, you can say that I'm agreeing with the Creator. I'm justifying Him according to the extent that I'm similar to Him, because then I see reality in His eyes, in His qualities, not in my own egoistic qualities. Okay, thank you everybody. We're out of time. Take care, stay healthy, see you next time. Bye bye.